members, dear Mr. President, a couple of people standing here have already stolen my beginning of commitment and progress thing, so I won't focus on this anymore. As far as I know, Denis is quite exuberant about the topic he is interested in and researches it quite deeply, so this topic wouldn't be an exception. He did research the topic, the theme of evaluation. It's pretty hard to evaluate the evaluation topic. Although, before I should notice that this is the 7th project, so Denis basically repeats one of his competent communication manual projects. And before this meeting, I watched his first 7th project. It was about stress. So you see there's some connections, and we can join stress and evaluation in some form. Probably you specifically chose this topic, and after that you decided to repeat the 7th project. I don't know the reason of that. Alright, anyway, as far as objectives are concerned, they are pretty fully met. There's nothing to discuss. Although you are already an advanced speaker, so I would focus on some different points. I would evaluate the project in different parts. There were a number of them. The first part was the beginning, which I liked really a lot. It was appealing to the audience, it was interactive, and it was at some point entertaining. This is what I like about your speech and about your being natural on the stage. And I think you would all agree with me that talking to people and getting feedback in feedback project is a good start. Then, that was main part, let's say. It was actually retelling of the 55 pages article written here on the blackboard, which I didn't read myself, actually. I tried to, I started to, but I was unsuccessful. So it's rather hard to squeeze a half analytical and half scientific article into 3 minutes body of your speech. And I wouldn't say that you were a perfect and a great success in that. Why? Because before you started giving us examples, the presentation didn't seem appealing and very interesting to me. It looked like this. You know, I'm like a frog sitting somewhere on a marsh, and I started jumping here, there, back, there, there. There were some logical chains that are quite easy to follow when you read them on the paper. And this part of the speech, when you explained the valuable thing, the attainable thing, again the attainable and the valuable, it's very good in scientific terms, in terms where people really want to get into and research, but it's hard to be perceived verbally when you speak about this in 3 minutes here. And what I would also say generally, you sometimes, actually let's say, you always put many unnecessary and garbage words in your speech, because your speech should be cleaner. You say, you talk about to the point, and sometimes in your speech you say, okay, there's a lyrical digression, I will talk about this and this and this, blah, 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 let's get back. This is something that moves us away from the main speech. Think about this. When you watch your video, you actually see it. I'm out of time. Anyway, the third part, the big conclusion part, was, I would say, a great success. Because this time with examples, the real appealing examples to the club, I felt that you did research the topic and that you motivate us to get into this topic. Maybe even to read this 55 pages article, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend this. Anyway, so the ending, the conclusion, was a real good advanced conclusion of an experienced speaker, and I'm really glad that you are so much exuberant about the topics you choose, and let's see what next repetition you will make.